We all want a keyboard that sounds nice. But what nice means can vary a lot from person to person. You've probably heard people describe their keyboard sound as creamy, thocky, poppy, crispy, muted, or even snappy. That sound is mostly determined by the switches and the keyboard's construction, but the keycaps play a much bigger role than most people think. So to find out exactly how big that role is, and to better understand all those words that I just said, we've gone a bit crazy. We've tested keycaps of all shapes and materials to see how they impact the sound of the same keyboard. When you press a key, keycaps act as an acoustic resonator. Their material, thickness, and shape determine the frequencies that are amplified or absorbed. Let's start with the material. PBT has a density of about 1.3 grams per cubic centimeter, and its porous structure provides good internal damping for higher frequencies. That gives you a lower, thockier sound compared to ABS or polycarbonate. ABS and polycarbonate are lighter, around 1 to 1.2 grams per cubic centimeter, and far less porous, which produces a higher pitch, more clacky tone. Then there is POM, denser than PBT at 1.4 grams per cubic centimeter. It has a smooth surface and decent damping, creating a muted but crisp tone often described as buttery. Ceramic keycaps are in a league of their own, almost 4 grams per cubic centimeter, and extremely rigid. That translates to a lower pitched, louder sound with a sharper attack and very little reverb. People describe it as marbly, sometimes with a subtle bell-like aftertone. And finally, rubber keycaps. Their soft surface absorbs high frequencies, making the keyboard much quieter and more muted overall. However, be careful with rubber keycaps. Some of them are PBT keycaps with a rubber coating. Those won't sound like you expect. Now let's talk about wall thickness, one of the most underrated factors in keycap acoustics. The thicker the wall, the stiffer and heavier the keycap becomes, which affects two main things. Resonant frequency. Thinner keycaps resonate at lower frequencies, giving a deeper thock. And damping. More mass absorbs more highs, so you get a rounder, less plasticky tone. Laser edge ABS or PC keycaps are usually thinner, around 1 to 1.2 millimeters, producing a bright, clackier sound. Double shot or dice-up PBT keycaps range from 1.1 to 1.8 millimeters. And even a few tenths of a millimeter can make a big difference. The thicker the wall, the deeper and fuller the sound. Finally, there is the shape or profile of the keycap. Taller profiles like SA, ASA, or tie house Bobo have a larger internal cavity, creating a lower pitch sound with a longer resonance. You could call it a bassy thock. Medium height profiles such as OEM or Cherry produce a balanced tone with a short decay. You can describe it as poppy, clean, or maybe a bit crisp for Cherry. Uniform profiles like DSA or XDA have smaller cavities, resulting in a higher pitch, clackier tone. And low-profile keycaps have almost no cavity at all, so the sound is immediate, bright and sharp. If you listen closely, you can even hear pitch differences between rows on sculpted profiles. And if we get really technical, a spherical, cylindrical, or flat keycap top will reflect and scatter sound waves a bit different, but honestly, I dare you to notice the difference. Ultimately, it's a combination of material, wall thickness, and profile that gives each keycap its unique acoustic signature. But remember, keycaps are only one part of the equation. Switches and keyboard construction shape the overall tone just as much. If you want your keyboard to sound a certain way, you need to align all three of them. Otherwise, your keyboard will sound like a guitar that hasn't been tuned. And that's it! Let us know in the comments how you like your keyboard to sound and which keycaps you use.